Hello. Ooh. Hello, and welcome to our little podcast. This is going to be sort of an update and also a little bit of research as well. We're back to the cartography map.
Always
Um,
going back to the map.
yeah, and we were just taking a gander at what were we looking at? Um, we were looking at uh, a couple of different areas that have come up in research, and we are looking specifically at the onion domes in the center of the cartography map, which have caused quite a bit of confusion on our end because those onion domes didn't really exist in the areas that we're looking at during the time frame. So we're going to be talking a bit about that. And Kyra is going to run through sort of an update in terms of locations. I had done like a full phonetic possibility list for Kyra to see if there was any locations that we could have left out. And we are definitely a little bit more secure with the locations that we've isolated. A couple of them are still uncertain and definitely less confident on some of them, but more confident on others.
Yeah.
So I'll pass it along.
Okay. Well, I guess I can. Is this gonna load? Can start by sharing what the map is currently looking like for us. And for anybody looking along, keep in mind this is every map that I have, like layered on top of it. So this is commune map, all of our Irish locations mapped, our sailing route mapped, and then also like the potential communes too. And we're not looking anywhere new really. We're starting to see more concentration here in the north of Spain, south of France, and then a lot more concentration around Venice, really.
Mhm.
This pocket.
And we had found sort of in Galicia, a pilgrimage at the top of Spain was possibly um,
Yeah, I can.
highlighted slightly.
This is a pretty popular pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela, which is right around here in A Coruña, which people might remember us mentioning in a
Yeah.
way earlier. I don't even know if it was a podcast yet or if it was just like research calls, but we were considering, since we were likely missing a stop on the sailing route, we were considering that this was it just for geography. But this lineup that's starting to take form up here starts to look a lot like, I'll pull it up. It's called the French way
Mhm.
of doing the Camino. And I'll share that. And that's what that route looks like. And a
There's
couple of these, like Astorga, we
right.
definitely have on
Mhm.
there. And we also have a couple that fall along this part. And then I think, let me go back to here. So this is Astorga. And then we have, this is a lot more coastal. And this is still just a possible one. This is part of our sailing
Right, sailing
route.
Venice,
And
Venice.
then this is another possibility that we have. So it's starting to take form. And then you have this little area that's a little congested into France. So
So yeah,
that's
for
possible.
those watching, the our cartography map has definitely made several changes since I posted that first video way back.
Yeah, I
Um,
think we've had maybe like 4 iterations of it.
yeah. Um, And to sort of explain what's going on in terms of these locations are not, aside from two of them, are not written like actual words in the manuscript. They're very clearly proper names. And the manuscript, from what I've translated, is largely phonetic. So these phonetics involved with other countries also involve the pronunciation of those countries in the phonetic Irish text. So there have been like more than one possibility for a lot of them. So
And just with more time, you start to see other unique characters and get to know different sounds and how they're being captured.
and when I first started doing this, more than 75% of the phonetic searches that I did were parishes or communes. And that sort of narrowed down our understanding as well. So yeah, if you want to see that full process, we'll probably make a joint Substack with everything. Some of the updated maps are already on Substack. There should probably be
Yeah,
be
we'll
one
a big update, a big revision.
Yeah.
And then the other pocket, should I go over? After I go over this, I'll show what the communes are and then what we're considering for each one.
And I really quickly just wanted to add, there is language specificity along that coastline in Spain with that pilgrimage. So I just wanted to highlight that there is niche languages in that area specifically.
Actually.
Yeah, and there are also niche languages in this northern area in Italy, specifically in the Lugano area. That's originally where I was looking at Celtic and Italian overlap. When I very first started this whole research is sort of in that area. So we're kind of coincidentally pulling some areas in that area as well. So there's some overlap there. But yeah, very particular nuanced dialects in both of those areas, in the Lugano sort of Alps, northern Italy area, and then also in the sort of Galicia, Spanish northern pilgrimage area.
Yeah. And this is also layered with the map of universities for the time too. So some of these, I forgot to mention that. So
Yeah,
some of these,
the schools, the Franciscan schools.
yes. So some of these are schools in the area too. But if we look up here in Italy, we had, I think this is Antole.
Right.
That was one that we've been pretty confident with for several months now. And then Cadine is one of three possibilities. There's also Cadenne in France, and there's Cayenne, which is just Cadenne without the D.
And we didn't mention, but some of the French locations that came up as possible overlaps that are phonetic have Basque overlap as well.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of, interesting dialects in France as well with overlaps.
Yeah. I am kind of partial to Cadine as being this location though, just because of where it is and its proximity to Swallowtail Castles. It's very close and attached via rivers to Lake Garda, which this lake alone has two, and the surrounding area has several more that were all built by the same family. So I am sort of partial to this one being that location. But this is Padua. That's the university that's in this area at the time.
This area also, the majority have estuaries or rivers leading to the ports and coastline. Just something to mention.
Lake Garda for sure does. this area for sure is starting to look. There's Adria, which is still potential, not really sure. Trista is also a possible for that same one. So both of them are on the list.
I'm less confident with Teresa.
Yes, because it's more like Treese or Treesh.
Treese or Treesh, less like Trees.
But I can share.
Oh, and then we did have a little conversation in regards to the swallowtails. The swallowtails have always posed an issue for me because I find so many what look like matches with the castles elsewhere without swallowtails. And I think a lot of people do as well. It's hard to say if this is like imagination based or the artist is getting creative or they're actually
Looking at a
referring
castle.
to very specific castles. Um, from my understanding of what I've translated and how the herbal section is, how the roots are, a lot of the images are meant to be indicative of the actual location. So that's why we're really trying to figure out the onion domes and the swallowtails, and we have some good possible fits for the other castle-like areas, but not necessarily like definitive areas for the swallowtail or the onion domes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those onion domes. But I guess I'll share this just so that people are clear. We're talking about these locations up here and down into here in the circle. And
On our map, that's what we're talking about. And then the onion domes are right in the center.
we're talking about these domes, and then we're talking about this castle up in the top right corner.
And then there's
with
also
the
swallowtail on the bottom as well.
And you can see swallowtails down here along this path between the circles too. And swallowtail battlements are pretty specific to northern Italy and where Italy meets Switzerland and Austria. So it's already a pretty concentrated area that we're looking at for it.
And those two swallowtail areas, that's in terms of the suns, is that north and south?
There's no way of knowing which if it's north or south without
the suns would be east and west, right?
Well, yeah, but we don't know which one's east and which one's west.
All right.
So we don't know which one is north and which one's south. We're talking about these suns.
Yeah, these suns. And then if you could quickly do a zoom in of the onion dome.
Yeah. These are the onion domes. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And these are like pretty classic Russian Orthodox architectural design from dating back to the 13th century, possibly earlier. I could be wrong with that, but around that time, so prior to our time period, and they existed primarily in Ukraine and Russia, Bavaria.
Yeah, they didn't really start to make it toward Western Europe until I want to say the second half of the 1500s.
And that's past our time point here with the early 15th century for us, 1400s for this manuscript right now. So these onion domes, they could be reflective of the person's imagination or copying from another manuscript, or they actually traveled further than we think on the sailing route.
Or met somebody that had seen them.
Exactly, met someone who had seen them, who possibly another merchant or sailor. I was also talking to Kyra about there is an element that seems a little bit juvenile sometimes, like in terms of the writing and different things. And sometimes I wonder if this was a pilgrimage, if the person was meeting a lot of different people from different places, or if things were verbally described to describe such artist. So it's hard to say with these onion domes.
Uh-oh. She froze. Oh no. See if I can message her.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can't see you though. There you are. Now we're good.
Marie, can you see me?
You cut out right when you were talking about the juvenile tone sometimes. Oh no. Again. I don't know if I'm frozen, but I guess since I have you guys, I can go over these locations. I'm going to start from this one and go counterclockwise this way. There you are.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you see me?
I can hear you. You're skipping a little bit.
Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I don't know why my internet is being weird. But yeah, I sometimes notice a playfulness, younger quality to the writing. Are you serious? Am I frozen again?
It skipped, but you came back.
I wonder what this recording is going to be like.
I know.
Why is my internet doing this?
Uh-oh. We're gone again.
I wonder if this will be one recording.
Oh,
Can
you're
you hear
back.
me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I just restarted it. Maybe that helps. I'm going to say the same sentence again.
Okay, go ahead.
It just seems that there's a playful quality sometimes to the writing, the rushed kind of nature, the kind of haphazard nature of some of the pages. It just seems a little bit like a younger spirit. Um, that could just be me, reading into it. But I sometimes think about, a younger person in one of these Franciscan schools, or doing a pilgrimage, or organizing with other people, or a sailor or a merchant, um, or, an understudy to someone else, learning along the way. Yeah, I think about all these different possibilities. But I do, yeah, there is sort of a quality that's young and juvenile. So I was in my research before hopping onto this call, I was looking at what were the most commonly circulated manuscripts at the time. Um, And I found this one called, which people who are studying the Voynich part probably already know well of it, but it's called Très Riche, by what is his name?
Richard Duke DeBerry, maybe?
Richard
Off the top of my head.
DeBerry. No, something DeBerry, yeah. Duke DeBerry, maybe. Très Riche, let's see. Yeah, Duke DeBerry. Très Riche, Duke DeBerry. And I found possibilities of not copying, but loosely
Do you want to
grabbing.
share your screen?
So it looks like there could have been some inspiration here, specifically with the Pisces symbol. This is how Pisces were depicted in manuscripts, like across the board, but we have very similar faces. So let's take a look. Let's see, is here side by side. So there could have been some inspiration here, and then similar as
You're
well.
frozen. You're back.
Some of the, am I good? Okay.
You froze for like a minute, but you're fine.
Some of the castles look similar, the towers specifically. We don't have any of those onion domes, but some of the castles look similar. There are similar creatures, but these were common across the board. These were common across the board with manuscripts at the time. So let me just read it up again. There's definitely some similarities.
Have you ever been curious?
Sorry, there's me. We noticed though, while looking at this, that the tails are quite significantly different. And I looked up small fish, and this fits the lingfish in terms of the tail, and this fits a mackerel. So these are totally different fish. This is a mackerel, and this is a lingfish, and lingfish are common in Ireland and around Ireland. As a sort of this. So I just wanted to mention that. We tend to have a lot of Irish connections come up on these calls. Oh, did you want me to quickly go over my translation for the start of the inner or the left-hand circle?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, Rose. So we noticed that this circle looks the most like the inside of a hagfish. And so I translated this outer ring.
Oh, also because of how close it is to the coverlet.
Yeah, it's also very close to the coverlet, which is right here. This is described in the text as a coverlet, by the way, like the actual word itself, coverlet, is in here as well. If you want to look at this whole translation and how I several months ago, called A Peculiar Queeg in Ireland, The Sounded Hand. But yeah, right now we're just gonna look quickly on this here. And it sounds pretty fishy, for lack of a better term. pretty. So what I was southern, so that's why I think that that might be like closer to the south. Southern web-like little forward, little after tidings or report account, blood or is from loop drought hall, radiate bloodletting, roving, having roads, long elongated object, possibly the Latin word for rebus. Large wave, trough of waves, leave, put, pied, arch, lizard, diminutive, small animal, exaggerating, great, weaving, wild, water, captive, from battle, cow, indeed, truly, ramble, mob, gibberish, connotation, maybe, abscissa, which is in Latin, probe, poke, root, dig, or investigate, the young folks or young ones, protruding part, go warm, move past, between, intervene, watercourse, gully, tube, salt, licking, at drink, smoke, absorb, other, another, every, rush, as in like the rush for botany, watercourse, gully. So that's the beginning works of the translation for around that circle. And then in terms of the inner center circle, starting at this word. Once.
You froze.
Are you serious?
I got space out and then you froze.
So the word for like stagger or space out in the north or from the north. Do you hear me and see me?
Yes.
Okay. And then the word for hedge or fence. And then lengthen, extend, or put up, or long, elongated object. Renewed vigor. Ambiguity, break apart again, early morning, a word that's really similar to
No.
habit. The word for to go pass, in between, intervene, or go, warm, heat, move, proceed. Again, these sound the same and are spelled the same, so it's a lot of like just grabbing from context. For bug, myrtle, short sprint, desire, fit, urge, oily, greasy substance, exuding from breast, bosom, or protruding part. Some of this sounds and looks a little bit weird so far, but I haven't finished all the way around the circle. And then the word for seizing by force. This is like an exact match, but it's very late. So I'm not sure if that's actually what's being talked about, or if this was a version of the word from much earlier. It used to mean before sort of the judicial meaning, it meant a sudden attack or onset of an illness, which would make a little bit more sense with the context leading up. But all of that searching for not a lot of rewards. Sorry about that.
Hey, we're working on it. We'll get it. I do hate to bring it up again because we already said no,
What?
but I am kind of feeling like the domes might be representing St. Mark's Basilica in Venice. If you look at it at different angles and you look at the art inside the basilica, hold on, I'm gonna screen share.
Can you
with
show? Yeah, screen
Yeah.
share.
Okay. Is this working?
Mhm.
Shit. Okay. Do we see this dark blue with the stars
Oh,
here? And then here we have those like three-prong sort of window right here
right.
that looks like the top of the domes. And then,
That's in Italy. Was it there in the 1400s?
yes, Venice. There are 5 domes and they are segmented like onions.
They're they're from the 14. It was like that in the 1400s.
It was built, I think, in 1347. I don't want to get that wrong.
They're that early. So were they at Porto Ceresio?
Huh?
Check on Porto Ceresio.
Consecrated in 1094? My goodness.
Why would they say that the Russian Orthodox invented the onion domes?
Well, maybe this doesn't count as an onion dome. I don't know. And then look at it from up above. You can really see
That's,
them,
that's a very good fit.
right? And then I don't know, like let me show you another tab that I have open that has this one's a stretch for sure, but it just kind of struck me. Can you see down at the bottom these little rosettes, sort of?
Oh yeah. Is
Don't
that
those
in
kind of,
the
yeah, that's inside the basilica.
Oh.
Don't those kind of look like what you see also on the map?
And someone on a pilgrimage would go to the Basilica. That's like the main one, right?
Yeah, doesn't it kind of look
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely possible. And I feel like given the concentration of stuff around Venice that it makes sense. It was like an intellectual center at the time and a port,
Right.
maybe. I don't know.
I mean, those are onion domes that supposedly didn't exist anywhere except Russia for
I
since
know.
why did we read that?
I know. And they're like visibly segmented, so it makes sense why it would be
They
depicted
look exactly like the Porto Ceresio ones.
way bigger.
Yeah, way bigger, like a ginormous version of them.
What a pretty.
There's four of them depicted. There's 5 on the top.
There's 5 in the building, but I think there's 6 in the center of the circle.
Is there an organ there?
Let's see. Oh, it's currently undertaking a new organ project. So that's
Ooh.
fine. Wow. Yeah. First record 1316. It had an organ.
Okay.
2 organ lofts built in the 14 and 1500s.
I wonder if you know the bottom right hand corner, how it kind of looks like music.
Yeah.
I wonder if those triplets that I was reading as Tin and Fern are like
Notes.
music notes. Yeah, like little dashes, you know?
Mm.
The organ is mentioned on the coverlet as like a homonym. Surgery, like organ surgery.
That's fascinating. Excuse me.
This would be a hagfish organ musical
Gentile.
visual scientific, geographical masterpiece, I guess.
It's so cool. In the 1400s, an artist was commissioned to paint shutters for the organs in the basilica.
Mhm.
And he depicts St. Francis.
Oh no, you're frozen. No, you're not. You're
Yeah,
good.
you just reconnected too. The artists that painted on the organs in the 1400s used mineral and organic pigments that were mixed with egg and or animal glue as a binder.
Ooh.
Huh.
Animal glue as a binder.
Yeah,
Hagfish slime.
maybe. Cross-section analysis of pigment samples
Cross
revealed
section. I'm just kidding.
revealed indigo, ochre, natural earth colors, and white lead, as well as pigments chosen for their brilliance. Azurite, ultramarine, malachite, cochineal red, and
Beryl?
sapphire.
Beryl? Aquamarine is the beryl.
Ultramarine?
Aquamarine.
I've got ultramarine. I don't know
Oh.
what that is. Gilding was applied with gold leaf via two techniques. Red bowl, in which hasn't red bowl clay come up before?
Yes. And yellow. Yellow ochre clay and red clay.
Okay. Cross-section of pigment samples reveal indigo, ochre, and also gilding was applied using red bowl where they applied gold leaf on top of the wet clay. And then glue, in which animal glues are used to adhere the piece of gold to the painting. Very cool.
Do we have like information about what the port was like in the 1400s? Any?
I can definitely do like a big Venice deep dive.
Yeah, I feel confident with the onion domes. I mean, I feel confident flagging that as like a definite.
I feel like I do too. Medieval Venice was a dominant maritime republic and economic powerhouse built on a fortified lagoon. Okay.
Okay. Are there swallowtails nearby? Like
For
along
sure. There
along
must
like
be.
right along the port then? Okay, we're gonna just flag this.
There must be.
I'm going to edit some of the part of the I'm gonna have to, even though it's a pain to edit these, because I like to just post it directly to YouTube, but that silence where I'm searching earlier, I'm just gonna remove it.
Mhm. There is there's like a big section of walls in Venice that are they are old defensive walls that have they're called the Venetian Arsenal walls.
Are they swallowtail?
Yeah.
All right, the southern, the huge wall of swallowtails on the southern part, I think.
Let's see.
And that's also in terms of the sailing route makes more sense for it to be on the bottom half of the page of the rosette fold out.
Yeah, wait, look at this. Look at this. The wall goes far, but it has the swallowtails on them.
Oh wow, yeah, that's definitely the wall at the bottom.
Right?
Yeah.
Fits well.
It's a port city.
Yeah.
Talking about fish. Talking about changing fish.
What if they sailed right through there?
Probably.
That's really crazy.
And look at the arches. Let's
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Venice deep dive, and then maybe next time we film, I can talk about that and whatever connections I find.
Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
good. I think that's really good. I think we're
We're
in
on
good
the right
shape.
track. Yay.
I need to understand sort of linguistically what is the influence here.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can look into languages in the area at the time.
yeah.
And I'll look into, because I think the university by Venice is Padua, so I can look into what they were teaching there at the time too, and what sort of people were being attracted to the area. Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
Back.
Is that the Franciscan school?
Padua, yeah.
The Franciscan school? Okay, great. And then the person that I mentioned that had demoed before, that's from Ireland, had mentioned that he went to a Franciscan high school, so he's going to hopefully look into some historical details there.
Has the word lagoon come up at all anywhere?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Canal of Basin, Ford, Estuary, River, Little River.
I mean, Venice is known for its canals.
There's another word for lagoon,
Uh-oh.
isn't there? Isn't there another word for lagoon?
Let's see. An estuary.
Yeah.
Potentially like a cove
Cove, like a cove, yeah.
or inlet.
Gusset Inlet. Gusset's like a little lagoon, I think.
Hmm?
Gusset Inlet. They're like little lagoons, I think.
Hmm.
I have to do some language research already,
Hmm.
just so I can actually like verbally tell people what is happening grammatically that's different from the Irish. There's like two instances that are not following Irish grammar, two specific ones that come up all the time, and it's like the from being at the end of the word, and all.
Hmm. That's interesting. I mean, the duh that comes up too in with some of the locations, like the Tripoli and stuff.
Oh yeah,
That's very Italian,
yeah. That feels Italian for sure.
which is interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do a Venice deep dive, and the people will get to learn about Venice with us.
Whoa! Yay! I'm glad we hopped on this call. That was, even though it was a little bit funky on my end, it was
It's okay.
my
It works.
internet. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, I'm glad that we hopped on the call. Yay, discoveries.
Yay.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.